Okay. Does anyone know how to confirm that it's recording to the cloud? So it doesn't put it on my local machine. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I guess let's start then. So, hello everyone. Thank you for joining again. To introduce myself, my name is Alexander. I am a Google Developer Student Club mentor. So I was the president of this club last year, and now I'm helping and just sharing my experience. So yeah, and today I'm very excited to host our first Coding Monday session this year. Yeah, we did similar sessions last semester, and it was just about React. So you feel free to check them out, to check those sessions. Yeah, and today, essentially, our agenda and plan is to talk about what Coding Mondays are, what is the general idea, what app we'll be creating, and then I hope to create a small to set up our Flutter project. So we will work with Flutter and Firebase. Yeah, and I hope to create like initial projects with those and then deploy, like a small project with Flutter and then deploy it to Firebase. And that's like the plan for today. And then for the next session, also we'll just talk a little bit about that later. So yeah, just before we go, do you have any questions or anything you want to clarify? Maybe organism. Okay. Anyways, I will probably just go. Yep. Just a second. Sorry, I'm from the computers. On one, I have this presentation, and on the second one, I will do a small demo. So actually, I just noticed that this call, it says that it will be 40 minutes. It's very weird. I have no clue why it's like this, but okay. Let's see what will happen. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, if something, do we need? Okay, so you don't have to have anything installed yet. So this session is like an overview. Yeah, there will be a repo under our organization. We have like GDC Conestoga GitHub, and I already created this repo for that project. And yeah, I haven't put anything there yet, but yeah, everyone will be able to contribute. And then, do we need to have anything installed? No. As of now, for the next session, I think you would want to have something installed, but it's not like this session will not be like follow along thing. It's mostly just again to give you an overview of what we are going to do during those coding Mondays. So I hope to host those weekly, and then also I will try to like explain what you will need to have installed on your machines if you want to work on Flutter Firebase project. So yeah, that's the plan. So let's probably go from here. Okay, so some notes. So the project itself is called a referral app. So what it is, it's going to be a referral tracker, actually. Yeah, let's rename it. Tracker. So we have like if you so we had this idea with the core team that we want to encourage students to refer their friends or other students and like to our club and just encourage them to join our club. So essentially the whole idea is when you refer your friend or your peer from your who is a current Conestoga College student, and they join our club, we want to reward you, right? So for instance, when you imagine I refer my friend and I will get a point, and then when with those accumulated points, we will have a store which will be available in this app. And with those accumulated, with those earned points, you will be able to purchase like different prizes, like swag, maybe different Google learning material subscriptions, and etc. Like stuff like this. And then, yeah, that's just the general idea. So let's just briefly like walk through this diagram. I know probably it's not the cutest, but I mean, it does the job. So if you note, so we'll have our internal currency like lead code. So if you know that, like, if you, how many of you have tried lead code? Have anyone used lead code here? Okay, cool. So essentially, yeah, what lead code, like when you complete different challenges, it can reward you with different coins, right? So we'll have like a similar system. And then, so by referring someone, you will earn some money, like our internal coins or currency. And then, so, and also if you participate in our events, you earn extra points, right? So for instance, I mentioned here, so when you participate in hackathons or you're like the winners, you will get like more points, or yeah, if you even contribute to this project, we will also like reward you. So, and then the second node is members can purchase items, so in our internal store by using those like coins, right? And then admins, yeah, admins will also have an admin panel that will essentially enable like our core team to add items to the store, right? So, and again, I will talk briefly about it here. So before like I explain what is Flutter and Firebase, I just want to like, again, just talk a little bit about features, and then I will talk about like implementation details. So, okay, so essentially, like, as I said, we will use Flutter and Firebase. Flutter is a Google develop. Both of the tools are developed by Google, and they're like very convenient. That essentially they help you like create apps very quickly. And even if you're a beginner, if you're even a first year student, it will be very easy for you to learn those things. Obviously, you need some dedication, but still, it's not like the hardest thing to do. So Flutter is essentially a, so if I like Google it, okay, so, and we go just to this website. So Flutter is essentially a framework, right? That is based on the language called Dart, and it enables you to create web apps, mobile apps, so Android and iOS apps, and desktop apps, everything in one code base, right? So earlier, like before Flutter, you would need to write, like, for instance, you would create like your website with React, you would create like your Android app with Java, and then you would create your iOS app with some, what is the language, Swift, right? So you would have like 3 different code bases, and in those code bases, you would have, yeah, you would need to constantly maintain them and like make sure that the features align and all this stuff. But what Flutter enables you to do, we just have one code base, and we can essentially build apps for all of the platforms in using, again, one, by writing just code in a single place, essentially. So yeah, that's like generally what Flutter is. And then Firebase is essentially like a very convenient way for developers to replace their backend, right? So usually you would have like a bunch of backend logic, and you would need, to write your authentication logic, authorization logic. Then you would need, to create a database and all that stuff. But like what Firebase does, it has database and backend in one place, and it like by connecting Firebase to your app, it essentially like has already like a lot of features built in already, like again, authentication, all that stuff. And yeah, we'll talk about like it a little bit more in detail later when I go to that part. Yeah, but firstly, as I said, I just go briefly like through how I envision the app. And then, yeah, you can share your feedback later after the session. I actually just created this form. You probably can see the tab on my browser. Yeah, it's a feedback form, so everyone who submits it will be able to win. Like we'll do a raffle item at the end, and then yeah, people can win like an Amazon gift card or something like this. So yeah, let's start, I guess. So the first feature. So this is as you can see, I like wrote 6 bullet points, right? And what those are just like main features. So the first one is apply for membership, right? So when you right now we have a CSI form, right? So and essentially we have like a bunch of we have 2 steps right now, right? So for you to become a member, you need to fill out the Google GDAC form, and you also need to fill out a CSI form, right? I hope all of you did it. If you didn't, don't worry, just make sure you do. And essentially, we kind of want to encapsulate all of that in one step with the help of this app. So like when you apply for membership, it will be like a very similar form. So Conestoga Club. So if I do this, let's do Code and Club. I guess it's, yeah, this one. So this is the page that we have right now. Yeah, as I said, like this is what all of the Conestoga students should do when they apply to join our club right now. And as you can see, there are like a few fields like full name, student number, email, and then a few comments and check if you paid the CSI club fee. But there is no way how we can track if you had like referred someone else, right? Or you were referred by someone previously. So the whole idea, when you apply for membership using the app, again, it will be just right now we will work only on the web on the web app, and then it will be like easy to create like Android or iOS replicas of that as well, because we are using Flutter. So essentially, it will be the same form as the CSI one, and then we will add an extra field to that, right? So our app will have exactly the same fields. So we'll ask for your name, for your student number, email, and that stuff. And we will also add a new field called like, please enter your student number, the number of the student who had like referred you, right? And then, so then this person, we will like track students by their IDs, right? By their student numbers. And then the student, so the number of the student that you specified, if someone had referred you, you would write that in that field, right? And then when you submit the form, we will add a coin, or we will add a few coins to the person that referred you, right? So and then yeah, this apply for membership page will be accessible to all the users, to anonymous users, and then a student must be a current Conestoga college student to apply, right? So just before we move on, yeah, is that clear? Like, is the whole idea clear, or you're a little bit confused? Like the way it will work. So what I'm talking about. Yeah, okay, cool. One confirmation. Thank you. So again, yeah, as I said, we'll have an extra field, like a similar form, an extra field. You'll specify the number of the student who referred you, and then we will add a coin to the person who referred you, right? So for instance, if you refer someone, right? So imagine I refer someone, I refer my friend. So then I ask my friend to fill out the form on our web, on our page, on our app, and then they enter all of these details, and then I tell them my student number, and they enter my student number at the bottom, and then they submit a form. And this way, I ensure I get like this point, right? If you, sorry, Oscar, can you clarify what you mean, please? I'm not entirely sure. In the meantime, I also see there was another question. So Flutter works as web app too? Yeah, it does. So it can work as Android app, as iOS app, as web app, as desktop app, anything. Yeah. So should we ask? Yeah, like ask if you were. Oh, okay. Contact your IT team to upgrade. I'm not entirely sure if you can see this message, but it says that the meeting will end in 10 minutes. I'm not entirely sure why. Okay, I guess I have a plan. I will just create a new link. I will paste it here, and then everyone goes to the new link. I guess this will work, hopefully. Yeah, okay. So ask if you were referred, show input for student number. Yeah, so essentially, yeah, you're right. If this is what you mean, yeah, there will be just an input field, an extra input field. So an interview. Yeah, that's tough. I don't know why, like last semester, Zoom worked perfectly. Like I could host like meetings up to 1 hour and a half, I guess, or even 2 hours. Yeah, but it's so weird. Okay, I guess, yeah, we'll make sure to create a new link like in a couple of minutes. Let's probably just, I will explain a little bit more, and then again, I will create a new link. So authentication. So authentication is another feature, right? So if you have already registered, you need to like access the store somehow, right? You need to access your personal information that you have. So like, for instance, you will have it again, it will be just a form, like a login screen. Maybe I also should draw that. So it will be something like this. And then you will have like, again, two small fields, like your student number, and then your password. And then you'll have like login button or something. And this is like the way our authentication will work. So then the way you will get your password is when you apply for membership, we will set up like I don't know, a job like or something with Firebase. Again, we will learn all of these concepts later, so don't worry if you don't know what it is. But yeah, we will send a password. We will send password setup instructions after the membership application, right? So when you apply or your friend applies for a membership, we will send them a password. We will send them an email with the setup, with the password setup instructions, and then they click a link or something, you know, and then they can like change the password and make it more secure or something like this. Again, we can like change this approach or something. Again, I'm open to ideas. It just like I'm explaining my vision right now. So this is the second feature. And then we have admin panel. So what admin panel does, it allows setting up store items and prices. And then name, price, image. So essentially, there will be like two views of the store, right? One view of the store will be just for members. So for students like you, right? When you enter the app, like when you log into the app, you can view all of the, view how many points you earned, right? And stuff like this. Again, we can think a little bit more about that. And then you will also see the store, and you will be able to purchase an item if you have enough coins. And then admin view, so admin panel, it will be like for a GDC kind of sort of internal team. We will essentially, so for instance, like I will be able to, I as a core team member will be able to add like a price, right? So a t-shirt, for instance, and I will like upload an image. I will upload the price of our, like it will be like using our internal currency, right? So the price, and then the name, and maybe description or something like this. And then also admin should be able to view all the members all the member scores. So like it will be like a dashboard or a table or something like this. And then also admins should be able to add extra scores for active members. So since I cannot think about like any automatic ways how we can award students who like won the hackathons or something like this. I don't think it's like possible to do it automatically somehow, right? Because like the results are announced after the hackathon, and then like so for instance, like when the results of the hackathon are announced, an admin should go to this app and then give like 10 or 5 extra coins to the winners of the hackathon, you know, and then they can like purchase additional like swag with those with this money. So that's like the whole idea. Before we go on, yeah, any questions about that? So Oscar, so do we have all the student IDs? So again, like at the moment, like essentially when you register, you will, or when you apply for a membership, you should enter your student ID, and every Conestoga College student has a student ID. So yeah, that's essentially it. Yeah, any questions or... And by the way, if you're not a current Conestoga student and you want to contribute to this project, you are more than welcome to. We do encourage that. We'll appreciate your help. So yeah, I think the audience is very quiet today, but yeah, does anyone want to unmute them themselves? Okay, what will the currency be called? Just points. So this is one of the questions I added in the feedback form. So you can see like any ideas for the currency name. Yeah, in the app. Okay, sorry. Okay, anyways, I will just fix it later. But yeah, we'll have an ICO. Can you? Sorry, I'm not entirely sure what ICO means. Can you? Or straight to coding. Prototypes would be great. I totally agree. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to create them. But yeah, I think we definitely should. I will try to prepare them for the next session. And then as we go and implement like specific features, again, we will see the screens, and then we can, yeah, start working on those. Initial coin offering. I see. Okay, sorry. No, I don't think we'll give like any initial like coins. Like you will not get like 5 coins automatically or something. Although maybe it's a good idea. Like if you apply for a club, maybe you should get like a few points, right? Since you like as an award for joining the club. Are we supposed to fill out the Google form? Yeah, it will be after. It will be like a feedback form. So you will have a raffle item at the end. So make sure to join, to stay. Yeah, and then you can, after you answer a few questions, we will have this wheel, and yeah, you'll be able to get some prizes. Okay, since I have this issue with Zoom, and we have only two 2 minutes remaining, I will create a new link, and then, okay, how about Discord? I just want to record the session, and I'm not entirely sure, but it's a very good idea. And I'm not entirely sure about the capacity of Discord channels, though. But yeah, we can try 6:15. Let me do this. So no waiting room. So yeah, maybe I need to contact Conestoga or CSI or something, because I really don't like that. But yeah, okay. So let's just see. I go here, copy an invitation. I go here. Okay, let me actually stop the recording and record. Okay. Cool. Okay, sorry, apologize for that again, but yeah, let's move on. So then we'll have like so I covered 3 points. Then the fourth one is we have a profile page. So show if a student paid a CSI fee for the current semester. Again, we just have, there is like a small service that we can use. I don't know, either by doing an API request or something. We'll try to figure that out when we get to that point. And then we have like personal interest, event suggestions. So just so we can see what the members are interested in or something like this when they join, right? And then display total student earnings. Any ideas for our currency name? Yeah, this is, again, as I said, it will be one of the questions in the feedback form. Yeah, so then the fifth feature is a dashboard. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what I meant by that yesterday, but essentially, as I said, like admins will be able to view all the students that applied, right, and that are essentially enrolled. But then, and also their number of coins, and then maybe I'm not entirely sure if this data should be publicly accessible. So like, do you think we should make the dashboard like a public feature, or it should be just for admins? So like this way you kind of can compare yourself to other students, right? So like you can see that like this guy earned like 10 points and I earned just 1, you know, and then you could just compete this way, I guess. But then, yeah, I'm not entirely sure if it's a good thing or no. So then, and the last one, yeah, is just a store. Again, and there you will just be able to purchase some things. So yeah, like a leaderboard. Yeah, probably we should, so maybe just, yeah, exactly. We both the one who referred and one who got referred will get points. The person who got referred will not get points, I think. They will get like points for joining the club probably, right? But the person who referred another person will get like will get the reward, the actual one. So maybe just show the top ones for competitors. Yeah, maybe like top 10 or something. Yeah, so this way you don't see all the students who were in the list. Yeah, maybe like, yeah, just the leaderboard. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, we already like 6:32, and I hope like we'll not go past 7. And I still want to like do a small app with Flutter and then deploy it. So let's just briefly go through this Firebase part. So members, so Firebase, again, as I said, it's a database and backend in one place, right? So it's I'm not entirely sure if you know what NoSQL database means. Do you know what it is? How many of you know what it? No, how many of you don't know what it is? Let's do this. Or yeah, is anyone familiar with that? You can raise your hand, or yeah, just this way at least. Okay, no worries, it's all good. Cool, just for my own understanding, so I know. Yeah, exactly. So it's essentially it's the opposite of relational database. If you don't know what a relational database is, also no worries. Again, we'll cover that more in details, but essentially like Firebase stores data in so-called collections. And collections is essentially like a bunch of objects, a bunch of records that you store right under one collection. So for instance, in what I wrote here, it's like 3 potential collections that I can think about, right? So for instance, we have members. Member is one collection. It's like member table, or yeah, essentially member, yeah, just collection. And there, each member will have like a name, total points they earned, and the student number, and then also a list of their purchases, right? And then we will also have the store items collection. It will be storing like all of the items available in the store, and also logs. So just historical data, mostly for admins, just so admins know like who did what and when, you know, so we can track like how many referrals we got like during a certain month, or yeah, some data like this essentially. And then yeah, the last part is CSI form. So just like essentially when a person applies for a membership, we also want to somehow automatically fill out this form, so a student doesn't need to do the step again. So this is something to think about. So yeah, MongoDB and stuff, yeah, it's very similar to it. Yeah, if you know what it is. But again, if you have no clue what NoSQL databases are, no worries. Again, I will explain it, I guess, during the next sessions. So yeah, before I go, so this is it, I guess, for the explanation of the app. This is like a very, like our business plan, our project plan. So any questions, yeah, before I move on to the actual Flutter project setup and deployment? Okay, so no questions so far. Okay. Then I will switch, sorry, I will share a screen from my other computer. I hope I can do that. So quickly. Cool. Let me actually like switch. I will probably switch mic and video as well. So give me a second, sorry. Okay. Just to confirm, can everyone hear me? Well, cool. Thank you. Great. So then, well, I will develop this app like on the Mac computer. On Mac, it just the main like reason behind that, it just if you want to develop iOS apps with Flutter, you must do that on Mac OS, right? Because like even you cannot develop any iOS apps with the Windows computer, right? You need to have like Mac, right? And if you want like to create apps for an iPad or iPhone or etc., right? So we might do that in the future, right? So we might enable support for iOS, but again, we will not focus on that today. Today we'll just do yeah, we will work on a simple Flutter project, set it up for the web, right? So just so what you need to do, let me actually like share. Sorry, I have so many tabs open. I probably should close them and just share what I found and what. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is like important stuff. So this is our GitHub. So it's called GDC-Conestoga. So feel free to go there and like join us. This is the repo. Sorry, I'm not entirely. You can start it after the session, so you can see you can add stars to specific repos, right? And this way it will be like attached, like it will be like pinned to your profile, GitHub profile, so this way you don't lose it. Okay, let me, before we go, I just want to like show you a few things. And so yeah, if you just type, so let's just talk a little bit about installation and what you might want to install like for the next session. Essentially, you just need to follow these instructions, like Flutter. So if you just type in Google Flutter install docs, you can follow those installation instructions. Again, it supports like different operating systems. So in my case, it's Mac OS. you just go here. Yeah, just follow literally step by step, like download, like again, if depending on your operating system again and your CPUs, etc. So you just download the zip folder, you unzip it, you add an alias, then yeah, there's this handy command called Flutter Doctor. So Flutter Doctor is essentially a, so yeah, I actually ran it right before the session. So if I run again, you see, it essentially like tells me what things I have for Flutter development and what things I don't have for Flutter development. As you can see, like you need to have at least like bare minimum. So you need to have Flutter itself installed. Then for Xcode is for iOS and macOS development. Again, it's optional for now. Then Chrome, we do have Chrome installed. We have Android Studio, like on my computer, right? So you can install those things. It just like essentially tells you what you have and what you don't have. I don't need this Android tool chain because we will not work on the Android app right now. So then, yeah, you just, again, just follow these instructions. Again, 5 steps. So you install everything, you set up an editor. I do suggest, actually, you can install a DAS, give you a free license for IntelliJ. IntelliJ is, so IntelliJ like created Android Studio. They created like what are those called? WebStorm, right? I guess it's also like one of their IDEs. I mean, they're very convenient. A lot of features are available there, so I do recommend you download those. So yeah, Android Studio is, I would suggest that as recommended. Recommended, I guess, yeah, it's a recommended IDE. Sorry. So as you can see, like Flutter itself, they recommend using Android Studio, or you can, again, you can use Visual Studio Code if you want. You just need to make sure you install like the right plugins so your development process is smoother. So yeah, so again, just go to this link, just again, type like Flutter installation docs, and you will get redirected to this first step. You just follow all of that, and as you can see, they even like give you instructions how you can write the first step. It's just a small list. So again, you can play around with all of that on your own. Right now, we will focus on a little bit different thing. So yeah, and you can, again, just further readings. Again, the docs are pretty good. So it has a lot of, you can just, again, in the meantime, before the next session, you can just like look around and see what Flutter has to offer. There is also, I believe, if you find, go and search for Flutter cookbook, it's like a lot of, yeah, it's a lot of like different designs and like different forms, different gestures, image styles, etc. that you can have. Yeah, that's essentially it, what I wanted to mention for installation. Also, if you do go with Android Studio, just make sure you install those 2 plugins. Again, you don't need to do that now. Right now, it's more like a demonstration. So yeah, Flutter and Dart, they just very good packages to help you, like, again, smooth your development process. Then when you install those plugins, you'll have this button, new Flutter project. So when you click on that, this is the window that pops up. So you need to, so one of the first installation steps, you will install your Flutter SDK. And this is just a path. Usually it automatically like sets the directory, but yeah, just make sure that's the right one. And then we have our project name. So we will call it referral tracker. It cannot have dashes. I just tried it right before the session. It didn't work. So and then our description, referral tracker app for GDC Conestoga. Then some of the things. So project type, application, organization. So organization is something I believe that is needed for when you want to push your app on Apple Store, or if you want to deploy it to how is that called? Google Play. So you need to have like your organization ID. It's like so for instance, if I'm not I think it's like a URL essentially, but it's a reversed one. So if your company's website or whatever is like gdc-conestoga.com, then we do it reverse. So we do com.conestoga.gdc. So we do it reverse way. Then we will not do anything for Android and iOS for now. We just check the web. And then we have, module name referral tracker. So we finish. So if I haven't messed anything up, it should be great. It should work. So let me try that. So as you can see, like this ID is very good. It has like debugging tools. It has, again, just I really like it. This is like when I started learning Flutter, I used this ID right away. So and you can see like you can run. So if you do go, if you add like support for Android or iOS, you can set up your emulators or simulators for the devices. But since it's just a web app, we just choose Chrome, and and we can just press run. Let's just check that our app works, and then I can just give you a brief overview of the project structure. Let's just wait a little bit. Cool, it works. That's great. So this is what the default Flutter project looks like, right? And this is what we will deploy right now. And as you can see, just a button that when you click on it, it gives you a like just count. It increases count by 1. And just like a brief overview, we have this. So this is our project folder, right? And then there is the lib directory and main Dart file. Then you can see, so this is like a heart of the project, right? This is where the program starts running. And then you see there is like a main method, and it has run app, my app. So we'll talk about like widgets and different components in the future sessions. Again, like the focus right now is just to deploy the app so you can access it on the internet, right? So I guess I will just leave it since we have limited time, only like 12 minutes. I will probably leave all the explanations of the widgets for the next session. But essentially, like Flutter uses widgets. Widgets are like different pieces of the app, right? So for instance, a button is its own widget. An input box is its own widget. So essentially, as you can see here, like maybe it's not a very good example here because it's very scary to look at right now. But as you can see, like here, it has like text widget, it has app bar. So we essentially like put an app bar on the app, and then inside this app bar, we have text. So this is essentially like with the help of those widgets, you build a Flutter application, right? So again, don't be scared. We will not dive into the implementation details right now. It's just like, again, basic setup. So let me just stop the app. So we made sure it runs. And now let's just, I guess, Okay, sorry. Let's just make sure that it's let's deploy it. So as I said, we have like this lib, and then we also have this build, right? So build folder is essentially where Flutter does all the hard job for us. It essentially compiles all the code that we wrote into like into the code that we need, right? So for instance, if we want to run this this app in the browser, or we want to deploy it in the for the web, we will need to run like a special command that I will show, and it will put like some files here, and then we can just deploy it. Anyways, let's probably do the following. I go to the browser, and so the first step, you go, you just Google Firebase, and then you log in, like with your Google account, right? Again, it's totally free. All the hosting is free. If there are any paid options, Firebase will like let you know. But essentially, what we are doing right now, it doesn't need any funding. So what you need to do is you create a new project, right? So again, what we have accomplished our first goal. We created a Flutter app, right? So as you saw, it's very easy. It gives you like a blank project. And now what we will do is we need to create a project in the Firebase, right? So Firebase knows that we want to deploy it on the web. So you need to enter your name, the project name. So it will be a referral tracker. As you can see, like there is this ID. This is what your URL will look like at the end. In our case, but it will also append web.app at the end, right? So this is how like Firebase handles everything. And let's call it like GDC referral tracker. And you can see that it's unique, so it doesn't like append anything. So this is, I think it's a neat URL. So we can just like use this. Let's just leave Google Analytics enabled. Then just default account, we create the project. So it takes a little bit. While it's doing this, we go here, and I created this repo. Again, if I'm not entirely sure how many of you know what GitHub is, but GitHub is just a way, like a place where you can store your code, right? So for instance, because like your computers can be damaged, right? Or you also might want to collaborate with other people. And essentially, GitHub allows you to upload all your code to GitHub, and essentially like collaborate with other people and make sure your code is safe. So like again, if something happens to your computer, you don't lose all your work, right? And it's very like simple to create a new repo. So you can just go to repositories, you create a new repository, you enter some details, and yeah, this is like what you end up with. This is what I did, I guess, right? Or okay, let's do this. So and then it gives you like the setup instructions, right? You just or push an existing repository from the command line. So I copy this, so you can see the copy button. We already have a repository, right? We already have a project. This is what it essentially means. You just need to, what you need to do is you need to commit all of the files. So either you can do it with a command line. So either you do git add, and then period, and then you do git commit -m, and then you specify the message, right? You do, I don't know, like set up project or something. Yeah, but I will do it just using the tools that Android Studio provides. There is like for Mac, it's Command K. I wish it worked. Lol. Did it? I guess now it wants me to use the terminal or git init. Do I need? Oh, okay, sorry. I needed to initialize git, I guess.
Yeah, and now you can see that the files are red. And then we just commit all of these files, all the unversioned files, and we just call like set up the project, right? So set up project, and then I commit. So make sure you do that, like for your personal projects, make sure you do that before you follow the instruction that Git provided you. So, and then I copied, right? As you saw, I copied all the instructions that Git gave me. And essentially what this line does, it says, connect this project to this repository. So connect this local project on my computer to this local, to this to this remote repository on GitHub, right? So it knows that it's referral tracker app, and then it renames. So as you see, this branch used to be called master, and now it renames it to main. And then we push the code. And now if I go to this project, to this link, you can see that I have all of this code publicly available, right? So you can see that the repository is public. So now if everyone, like if all of you go to this link, I suggest you just bookmark it. So you star it. I see that 3 people already did it. So if you click star, it will pin it to your profile. And essentially it, I put all of the code there. So you can also like, you can clone it. So you can use this. Again, I suggest you look it up. How to do that? We had like last year, we had 2 Git workshops. So feel free to check our YouTube channel. I actually conducted those. So you feel free, like we just covered like basic commands, like what commit is, what add is, what like different staging area, like all that stuff, all different concepts, how to clone a project, like different branches, what branches are, all that stuff. So yeah, so you can see that this code is now available to you all. And now the project is finished. So the project setup is finished here. So GDC referral tracker. So now I also found this brief article about how to like set up Flutter, how to deploy Flutter project on Firebase, but it doesn't really, it wasn't really what I expected it to be. So we need to follow a few instructions from both places. So if you can see that since we are using Flutter, you see it supports Apple, Android, web, Unity, and Flutter. So you can connect all of these apps to Flutter, to Firebase. And then since our project is Flutter one, we click here. And then it just says, before you continue, make sure that you log in. So if I go in here and I type in my command line, I type Firebase login. Yeah, it already says that I'm logged in as DC Kunasoga. Yeah, but I do actually suggest that you follow these steps. Maybe I should drop the link. Yeah, you can experiment, like, and play around with all of that. So yeah, this is just another thing. So, and as you can see, after we log in, you can log out, but we will not. We need to run this command called Firebase init. So I guess, okay. Yeah, these ones are, yeah, we need to run those commands, right? So just copy them from here, paste it, run it. You can see that it tells us that we need to set up this alias. So we just copy this line and we do this. Then we copy this line as well. We run that. Sorry, I'm not really explaining what the lines mean. Yeah, but here we just say that we want the web app. And yeah, just registering, you see web app for this GDC referral tracker. Cool. And after that, yeah, we don't need this step because we are not actually using Firebase for any storage. So yeah, and here you can actually see there is another command that we need to do before deployment. So it's called, sorry, I didn't run this one. So Flutter init, was it Flutter or Firebase? Firebase, sorry. Firebase init. And then you see it has like a bunch of, so Firebase has a bunch of different services. And this is just one of them. Sorry, and we will just use this one. So hosting, right? So we want to deploy it. And you click space, right? The instructions say that. So press space to select. And then I click enter. And then I say use an existing project under my account. Okay. And I go to GDC referral tracker. And then, so if you recall, I told you that the project will be under our build folder, and it will be, so just make sure that this step is correct. So it should be build web, okay? So essentially it points to the location where the compiled code will be stored. And then we can just do this for now, automatic builds, no. Cool. We initialized our project with Firebase, and now we just need to build our project. Okay, so you just run this command, Flutter build web. So what it does, it compiles all of this code, it translates it, and it puts it into the build folder. And after that, we need to run this final command called deploy. Let's just wait. Sorry, it takes a little while. I see we have only 5 minutes left. Yeah, it's very annoying. Yeah, okay. And the Zoom call, I mean. So, okay. And now if I click Firebase deploy, it essentially will deploy our project. And now everyone, so you can see it gives me this link. If I click on it, I can access this app. So the app that we developed, like that we created on the web, right? So if I put this URL here, now everyone, so all of you can click there, and now you can go there, and essentially you have access to the app. So essentially, as you saw, it's like just a few steps to deploy a Flutter Firebase app. Again, you can deploy many other projects. You can deploy your React app with Firebase, and it's like very easy. As you saw, it's like 5 or 10 minutes. And yeah, that's essentially it, I guess. So maybe to conclude, like what we did during the session is, again, we just talked a little bit about what the project is. We also created like a sample Flutter project, and we also created a and we also deployed this Flutter project using Firebase, right? And now you can see that, and now everyone can essentially access this link. So again, you can share it with everyone, your friends, whatever, and they should see the same page. So I hope you found this interesting. So during the next session, we will actually try to do some navigation, I hope. So we will try to create different pages and switch between those. And I also will cover like basic concepts, what like widgets are and all that stuff. So yeah. Yeah, that is cool. And it's very easy. So cool. Any questions before? Crazy, we have only 3 minutes. I will share a form right now. Please do make sure you submit the feedback, and then I will okay. Sorry, I just final look at the form. It was just the last moment. So if I create, sorry, I put it in the chat. Yeah, just go here and submit your feedback. And then I will spin a wheel with all of the people who submitted the feedback. And then one of you will get like a gift card. Probably it will be like $15-20 Amazon gift card. So yeah, let's maybe make it 20. I hope. Yeah, we'll just make sure you fill it out. Let's and yeah, just maybe let's take a couple of minutes as a break. And actually, we need to go to another call probably again, just because it's 2 minutes until the meeting shuts down. So yeah, I really apologize for that. It's yeah, in the meantime, do you have any questions or anything? Like maybe I just want to clarify, you don't need to be like I'm not entirely sure if there are any like design students or anyone who's not exposed to coding at all. That's why I'm launching this survey. So you essentially just so I have a general idea of who the target audience is. And even if you're not a programmer, you're like in a design program, you still can help us, right? You can design our app, you can improve styling, because I'm like very bad with colors and all that stuff. I'm more into like backend programming. So you're more than welcome to help us. You can create prototypes or you can share ideas, and all that is very helpful to us. So yeah. In the meantime, let me just create a new link, and I will share it again. So meetings, and then we have this one. If you need any help with prototyping about mobile screens, I can. Yeah, just don't leave yet, I guess. So yeah, you can just go to this meeting. Again, it will be just maximum 5 minutes. I will just spin the wheel. We find out who gets the gift card, and then yeah, we can go from there. Yeah, I definitely will need to help with prototyping. So cool. So I guess I will see you in the other, because I do want to upload it on YouTube, and probably it will be like a nightmare for me to put all of that. So here are all the names. Let me just actually double check that that all of you are here. Okay, let me ask you a question. Has anyone? Okay, I see one more response. So is everyone? So who hasn't submitted their response yet? So I can just do that. Okay.